Welcome to CSO Talk 6. Good to have you all tuned in again. Tomorrow, schools and restaurants in Switzerland open again, and life will gradually return to something more normal. I say gradually, because all the social distancing and hygiene rules remain in place. So the 11th of May is a great step, but it is not the day for all of us to return to the offices. For all SkyGuide staff, please refer to the various information put on SkyHub by the task force and consult the respective service orders. Or, in case of doubt, simply ask your manager. As a general rule, home office remains the preferred option for the moment. For today I have a packed and I hope remarkably interesting program. As usual, we will have a look at the current figures, but really brief. CSO Talk 6 is also special because I have my first international guest today. As promised during CSO Talk 5, we will have a closer look at the Network Management Operations Recovery Plan, and in particular on the safety part of it. So who would be better placed to talk about that than Tony Liku himself? And when we talk about recovery, ramp up, return to normal operations, what are we talking about? What is this normal after COVID, this new normal? My leadership team has reflected about this, and we will share our thoughts with you later today. I hope this is enough already to keep you interested, but at the end I will even show you some pictures we never thought they could have been shot in the first place. You get it? That was the hook, so stay tuned. As I speak, there are now more than 4 million COVID-19 cases worldwide, and 280,000 people lost their life because of COVID-19. This represents an increase of 12% compared to last week, so there are indeed indications of a slowdown in growth. And for those of you who have seen CSO Talk 4, this looks pretty much like a logistics function. The exponential growth at the beginning and then the flattening in the end. There is no change in the air traffic situation. Commercially speaking, empty skies. Though a lot of VFR traffic, we provide the public service for this traffic as required, but it does not generate any revenues in turn. And now I would like to welcome Tony Liku from Eurocontrol. Tony is the head of the Operational Safety, SQS and Integrated Risk Management Unit in the Network Management Directorate. Welcome, Tony. It is a pleasure to have you here today, my friend.
Hi, Klaus. Thank you for having invited me here. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Tony, before we talk about the generic safety argument and all the great work you and your team are doing to support the safe and orderly ramp-up phase and the return to a sort of normal operations, how are you doing personally? And how is the situation for you and your staff at Eurocontrol during these times of crisis?
Thank you for asking, Klaus. Personally and family-wise, everything is good. Friends are good. Co-workers, colleagues at Eurocontrol, they are good. Like all companies these days, we have did a contingency planning, very thorough with people on shifts and operations, having extended turnovers of 14 days, 28 days with reduced shift staff demand and shifts avoiding each other, including internally to the shift, the people, cleaning. Also, the people in admin part grouped in 3 categories. Most of the people in teleworking and using online tools and working via WebExes and teaming up with people over the cyberspace. And it's a new norm. It's a new life in which you are. And grateful that we can continue to support the network.
I'm glad to hear that you, your family and colleagues are all healthy. Health is, of course, the #1 priority for all of us. Tony, the network manager has just published the Network Operations Recovery Plan for 2020. Can you explain us the objectives of this and how it was actually produced?
Network Operation Plan, it's a great challenge, great endeavor. It's a collective knowledge of all the stakeholders in the network. Airlines providing their new schedules, updated schedules. airports, air navigation service providers with their capacities, military. All stakeholders have contributed collective knowledge through different Eurocontrol streams, network operations team, airport team, safety team. In the case of safety, we have used the safety team and the SAFOPS group to build this safety argument, the potentials list of hazards, disruptors, potential issues, and we have aggregated that knowledge and placed it as an essential part of this overall network operations plan. And looking at safety, but also network-wise and operation-wise, we need to have a system view, a system perspective. We cannot afford to just have a checklist through which we can, lose things or overlook things. We need to be able to remain, anticipative, to be resilient, and be able to return safely to the operations.
Thank you, Tony, and I agree. We cannot afford to return to normal operation unprepared. I believe that this coordinated approach is necessary and for sure from a safety perspective. Tony, are there any specific considerations you would like to share with us?
This is a very good question, Klaus. Anything specific? If you look at the safety argument and the potential lift of hazards, we look in a systemic way at are there operational staff available and sufficient? Are technical staff available and sufficient? We look at the equipment, at the ATM procedure. We look at specific transition aspects. But in my view, this COVID-19, it's a crisis that impacts very much the human element, the human factor. And I think we need to give careful consideration to human elements and the social aspects, related to the family, cases potential in the family that may affect our performance at work. The worries of tomorrow, the worries of the financial impact of the crisis, and so forth. And actually, I had a great idea from a colleague and friend in Spain the other day, Guadalupe Cortez. She was suggesting to use the human factor case to complement the safety argument and the operational hazards to look at potentially new issues with the human impact. And that's a great idea. I will leave that with you, and I'm sure you will look closely to all elements in that. And if you have new knowledge to contribute to the network, we'll gladly share that. And I know you are a champion in the safety area, so we will be expecting new ideas and new good tips on where to look on returning back to the normal operation.
Yeah, Tony. And I agree. The human dimensions or human factors will for sure play a particularly important role during this transition to a new normal. Thank you once again for having taken the time with me today, and a big thank you to all those who were involved in this. Tony, stay safe and stay healthy.
Thank you very much for having me with you. Thank you for talking on this very important subject. And let's not forget, we need all to work together for the benefit of aviation safety and passengers. Thank you again. Stay safe, and all the best to the colleagues and friends in Skyguide.
Tony mentioned the importance of the human and social dimension in this devastating crisis. Now, we are all humans and we have fears, we have hopes and expectations. And my leadership team had an incredibly open conversation about this during our last collective leadership team meeting. And we want to share our thoughts about the new normal with you.
This crisis forced us to reduce our pace. We had to slow down also on a personal level. But that's not only bad, it also offers opportunities for each and every individual.
If there is something the current pandemic situation has shown us, is how dependent we are on technology. I mean, our resilience is built on technology.
We have all learned to give each other more space to protect ourselves. As you can see here in this park in the middle of Bern, usually very busy place over the weekends.
I take the opportunity to address the green wave topic. I think this one will accelerate in the next future. I see it as an opportunity.
I think in the world after the lockdown, we'll find more modesty, solidarity, adaptability.
Reflecting back on the last week and our capacity to change, this great ability that each of us have shown in adapting our daily life, our working practices. For me, when I look at the new normal, we will be building on this ability.
I'm not sure how many of you have realized what a gigantic digitalization step we have undergone in the last couple of weeks by scaling up work at home, remote maintenance, keeping our operations running. Just let alone imagine what possibilities in terms of resilience a location-independent operation would open up to us in the future. We need to continue this way.
We have also learned to listen more carefully to each other. Otherwise, our Skype meetings end up in chaos. And we have learned that we miss seeing each other. I hope that we have learned with all this to have more respect for each other and that this is going to be sustainable.
New routines can be integrated in our daily life, such as sports or any other method to reduce stress. And I hope this will be continued after the crisis as well.
Is it normal to fly to Nice and back to Geneva for 70 francs? Is it really okay? Is it reasonable? Does it make sense? Probably not. I think we will find another balance at probably a higher cost.
With confidence that we've done it, that we've already adapted so much in the last weeks, that we can do it in the future to take on the challenges coming our way, being the financial crisis, the climate change, or the digitalization revolution that had already started before the COVID-19 crisis.
And within Skyguide, I think we'll have a stronger focus on resilience engineering and on enterprise risk management. And I think also we'll, in certain areas, be a bit faster in the delivery of our target operating model.
Of course, we do not have a crystal ball. But we live in a VUCA world and we need to lead in a VUCA world. This is our role as leaders. The world after COVID will not be the world before COVID. This is probably the only statement I can make now with a reasonable level of confidence. And with this, we are coming to the end of CSO Talk 6. Really fantastic pictures. Were they shot legally? Or was this illegal within an international airport perimeter? Drones were seen as the disruptor so far. I think the COVID-19 disease is most probably an even more powerful and unexpected disruptor to aviation. Next time I will explain what it actually takes and why of course it was fully legal to take those pictures. And I will talk to the drone pilot directly. Let me finish with one last safety aspect. There are two important hazards we need to watch out for very carefully: boredom and skill fade. Both are extremely safety relevant topics in aviation, and not only now. So we will talk about this in CSO Talk 7. And again with a high caliber guest who normally would be flying A380s in the captain's seat around the globe. Stay safe, stay healthy and stay tuned. Bye for now.